My name is Dixin Yan. The one thing I deeply care and love to do is photography. I love to capture the beauty of nature, people, night sky, wildlife, almost everything. And I like to share with other people. I have been doing photography about 15 years ago when I was in the college. My major in the college was biological physics. My hobby was painting and calligraphy. Those are very time consuming, so I switched my hobbies to web design and photography. Both are important for me because I eventually become a professional software developer and photographer. And that's the reason I got my job offer from United States, and I managed to move from China to here, which has totally changed my life. Since 7 years ago, I got this spinal cord injury and ended up in wheelchair. Then I have to relearn how to do photography from a wheelchair. So it becomes like a totally different business and skill set. My injury started to occur around 2012. I was very healthy before 2012. I spent a lot of time either hiking or in the gym. Since 2012, I started to have problem to trigger and control my legs, which later was diagnosed with spinal cord injury. It was very strange because I got nothing. My condition was called syringomyelia. Usually, it's caused by trauma or tumor, all those things. But I got none of those. So the spinal cord injury just happened by itself. It was a massive damage all the way from C4 to T11. So it keeps getting worse. And eventually in 2014, I ended up in wheelchair. During that period of time, I spent most of my time working in Microsoft as a professional software developer. I was also struggling to do some photography. I kept falling all the time, and it's not really safe for me to move around and doing photography. I actually started to spend more time on photography since I started to be in wheelchair. Eventually, when I was diagnosed to be spinal cord injury, I was scared to extreme. I was totally speechless. I'm C4 to T11 incomplete. I have some function in my arms, my hands and fingers, so I'm able to hold my professional heavy full frame camera, but I'm unable to hold it for a very long time. I went through my spinal cord injury with my friends at Microsoft and also some other photography friends. I was married before this spinal cord injury happened. Before this happened, she was like, we're best friends forever. Oh, I want to have a lot of babies with you, blah, blah, blah. But once this happened, she decided to divorce me. And also because I come here for work, all my other family members, they're in China. So basically I'm unknown here. So my software engineer friends and also my photographer friends, they were very kind. So they spent a lot of time. They walked through with me for the entire spinal cord injury since 2012 all the way to today. By that time, I was still living in an apartment on the third floor. I can no longer go back. I become homeless. A colleague at Microsoft invited me to live in his house for several months until I managed to find another wheelchair accessible place on the ground floor, which is my current condo I'm living in. I have constant nerve pain, which is the biggest challenge from spinal cord injury. It's even bigger than paralysis. This constant leg pain, it only just goes like higher and lower. So this pain impacts everything at all. Impacts me from like eating, sleeping, talking, working. I also have a lot of other challenges like sensation loss, like muscle spasm, bladder, and bowel management. Of course, I spend most of the time struggling with my daily life. However, besides those things, I try to spend as much time as possible with coding and photography. The best thing or the happiest thing for me is I managed to take some good photos. So here are a few examples. Almost every year they have air show here at Seattle, Washington. Before the pandemic, I was official photographer of their air show, and these are a few more examples of my photos and also how I managed to take those photos. I was also official photographer for the H1 high race in Seattle. I was also official photographer of the 4th of July fireworks show of Seattle. So this shows like how I managed to take photos when there's a lot of crowd. So this photo on the right is what I captured from my camera. This was one of my favorite photos of all the 7 years of wheelchair photography. This is one of my favorite selfie that I captured myself with Snow Mountain. I also volunteer my time and energy taking photo for other disabled or wheelchair people. This one I'm showing here is one of my favorite. This gentleman in wheelchair, he is a good friend of mine, and this lady is his wife. We happen to have this double rainbow on the sky, as beautiful as themselves. In the Special Olympics USA Games in 2018, I also volunteered to be an official photographer. For the next thing I'm looking forward to do is I'm planning to get a wheelchair minivan that will greatly improve my mobility. I'm also looking forward to learn new technologies. Hopefully, I can combine my two hobbies, computer science and photography, which is a computational photography. Computational photography is artificial intelligence in the photo editing. Work again is probably my biggest dream. Other than working, I hope I can keep doing more and more photography with my own effort and also with the help of my friends. My advice would be we will have only one life, and time is very precious. So if there's something that you want to do or you like to do, try your best to do it and focus on what to do and how to do.